Yeah, no, that was fucking all right. Live is on. Let's just record.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the ROONS MIZZ Arsenal chat. I'm ROONS.
And I'm Miz.
We come at you whenever we can, whenever we're needed, to talk about the craziness that is Arsenal Football Club. When we last spoke, I think we were in the midst of the transfer window and nothing had gotten done yet. Well, lo and behold, the transfer window closed. And the only thing that happened was we went down -6 players.
Yeah, we lost. And Aubameyang is down. I know that one. That one hurts you. I know that one really hurts you. That's like
it's like when something is so bad that I don't really feel sorry for it, or like I'm not surprised, so the pain is not really that great. It's not like a shock or anything, but when I think about it, he was basically my favorite player in the world, to be honest. Like what he was capable of doing and his style and the fact that he played for Arsenal, like he was the way to get Arsenal back to where we were. That spirit that he had and his ability, his swagger, everything was the way. And his abrupt leaving is just confirmation that KSE, Kroenkes, and Arteta are like, no, that is not the way. We're not going with that way. We're going with this way. We're going with the Xhaka way. And to me, it's not even a matter of opinion. Like we have a Golden Boot winner. We have someone he was involved with like 93 goals in 160 games, something like that. He's now playing for Barcelona, who, yeah, they're having a rough patch, but they're still one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah,
clubs in the world.
I mean, he's going to score. He's going to score goals there.
And instead, we're choosing to go with a guy who has more red cards than goals, more red cards than assists.
I mean, we always get onto him, but I can't believe, why didn't we offload him? Why wasn't he sold? Why didn't we drop him and save wages on him? Because he cost us more games than Aubameyang ever would. I mean, Aubameyang, poor run of form this year, but I mean, circumstances are circumstances. I think, why are we? I mean, I see the Granite Jacket leaving in the summer. Hopefully, that's what I keep seeing at Roma again. But who knows? He's gonna be he's gonna be fucking 45 years old and still playing at Arsenal in 2030, and we're gonna be like, no, it's still there.
And think about it too. He's being played, other than last year when he was played as left back, which just shows in what dire straits we were in. And by the way, he played terribly at left back. So
he's garbage at left back. He's garbage in the midfield, though, to be honest. I mean, what does that say about him that you can play him at left back because he's not really needed in the midfield?
Right. But he's basically been playing where that's his ideal position, defensive mid.
That's where he plays for Switzerland. That's what
that ambiguous left-sided. He covers a certain patch of meaningless ground on the pitch. But then you have Aubameyang, he comes from Dortmund. He had just won the Golden Boot in the Bundesliga over this guy named Robert Lewandowski.
Mm-hmm.
He scored more goals than Robert Lewandowski.
Yep.
Then he comes to Arsenal. Did he score more goals than Lewandowski by playing on the left, tracking fucking wingbacks and playing defense?
No, he's a striker. He plays through the middle.
He's a number 9. If there's number 9s in the world, I know it's kind of a dying position. Like a lot of teams are thinking we don't need a traditional striker anymore or something like that. But there's a few out there that are solidly number 9s. He's one of them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, basically from 2020 till he left, a majority of the time he was either playing out left, which he was utterly wasted.
He doesn't do anything out there because it's not his spot.
Supposed to do. He's put out there on the left and expected to track their attacking wingbacks. Like
that's like started with Wenger though too. Like they all did it. Wenger, Emery, Arteta. They all seem it's like they're thinking he's like Thierry Henry, and that you could move him from wing to forward. I mean, that's at least a different. Like Wenger made Henry a proper striker, and
Yeah.
he was a winger, and like but other way around, you don't take your top goal scorer, the
No, you
top
don't do
like
the other way around.
no. Why would you? Why would
Take
you
the
do that?
winger, you make him center forward.
It's yeah. I mean, he's trying to do it with Martinelli too, because that's Martinelli's strong point. I think is through the middle.
I know. Why? Just why take your best player and put him in a position where he's not going to not make the most impact? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
And
Hey, this all or nothing though is going to be fucking so interesting. The shit that has gone on this season, and just the fact that we're going to get to see what they're doing.
I wonder though. I wouldn't be surprised if it somehow is very anticlimactic and boring.
Because they're like
they have a way of just no matter what happens, the most ridiculous shit can happen, and they're like, well, it happened, and our team, we have a really good attitude, and we're working really hard in training, and basically everything's fine. And you're like, is it fine? Because we just lost to Brentford, and then we lost to Everton. Like, so now we have 3 games in hand, which is crazy because we had 3 games ahead of Tottenham, but now we have 3 games in hand. But even with 3 games in hand, we could firmly be in 4th place if we had beaten Man U and Everton, who are dog shit teams.
Oh my God, those are the games that we like really needed to win. Yeah, we do have 3 games at hand. I have the table pulled up, man. Yeah, we win those 3 games, and we're close to Chelsea. Like we're right in there. We're above United. United is fucking terrible too.
United is terrible. They have no.
It's all going wrong there too. I mean, the Greenwood thing is crazy. That's a whole other thing about footballers and their fucking mental health and what's going on with that. Like Kurt Zuma, Greenwood, Mendy, all these dudes like getting charged with like crazy shit.
Rubinho.
Like, yeah, it's like, yeah, Benzema.
Problem. Yeah,
for
sure.
But we could, like you're saying, we could easily be in the fold a lot better. We have a big game against Brentford on Saturday. It's a must-win game. Every game now is must-win. We have 16 games left.
Yeah, if we tie, we have the 3 games in hand that we have. If we tie and lose,
who those 3 games are?
Brentford,
Tottenham. No, the 3 games that we have to do make up are Tottenham, Liverpool, and Chelsea. Those are the 3 makeup games that are to be concluded. Those are the re-established fixtures that we missed. Those are like, fuck.
Those are tough. I mean, Liverpool is going to beat us. I predict Liverpool beats us 4-0.
Yeah.
I watched the game yesterday. They played against Inter Milan.
They were chilling, and they were chilling in some parts.
It's just when I watch Man City and Liverpool now, and the way they play the 4-3-3, and the way that turns into 4-4-2 or 3-5-2, or like all the different interesting and really cool combinations that they do with their 4-3-3. They have Bernardo scoring almost a hat trick.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have all of their front 3 scoring a goal. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, this team is so freaking good. And then you have after the game, Pep Guardiola saying,
we can do better.
We can do better. Like you have Klopp being like, yeah, we suffered, and they just beat the Italian champions 2-0 at the San Siro.
Yeah. Going into the other leg. And the away goals, are they different now in the Champions League?
No away goals.
So it's
aggregate, but it's still.
Dude, Inter Milan's not going to go to Anfield and like, that they're just going to be solid there too.
For sure. It's going to be much harder for Inter Milan at Anfield. And they have to make up 2 goals. So you look at those teams, and more importantly, I'm looking at the 4-3-3 and the way they play their lines, and it's so intriguing and so interesting. And then they make 5 subs because they get 5 subs in the Champions League, and you look at the quality that comes on for both teams, and you think, they're better than every player at Arsenal right now. And these are the subs, and they're able to make 5 subs because they've managed the game to the point, and they have the depth that they can rest players, they can move things around. They have so many options. They're so airtight with their squad, and you watch it, you just have to appreciate it. And then you look at Arsenal, and it's like it's not even we might as well be in the championship because there is no comparison. None at all. We're playing the dead 4-2-3-1. And I swear, we could play a 4-3-3. Like, we could play a fucking 4-3-3. I think let me see if I wrote it down. Like, I had it somewhere. Like, I just did a formation that I thought would be pretty cool. I can't find it, but it was like, first of all, you have like Pepe.
Well, he's gonna leave. I keep seeing stuff about him leaving now.
I mean,
but you would do if you were him too.
He cannot get a PT to save his life. Then he goes to AFCON and does well, comes back, sits the bench. They make 3 subs, and Nketiah comes on. And it's weird because Nketiah 2 seasons ago scored 10 goals in all competitions. And he's been wasted to the point where now we're pissed off when he comes on the field, and he's going to leave this summer for free. Yep. And yet we have Pepe, who literally could be, I don't know why he's a winger that you need to put in the number 9.
I mean, we spent $72 million on him. He's our most expensive signing ever, and he doesn't play. It's crazy. The business that they do is diabolical.
There's a refusal to play him too.
Yeah.
At Lille,
it's even.
At Lille, they played a 4-3-3. He played on the left as a left forward, but it was known that he was going to cut in the middle and come in on the left because he's left-footed. But you play him down the middle, he's going to run across the line, get it, and be a number 9.
But then he could also cross. I don't know why we always put these players on the wrong side, like we've discussed many times. And it just doesn't make sense. It's not a good tactic anymore. They're not Iron Robin. There was like one player that did it like very well, like him. Everybody's tried it.
City does that and it works. You know, I think Joao Cancelo is the best player in the league, I think. And he's a right-footed left back, you know, and the way it works with them, it works. Okay.
Their system is different too. They're like,
well, they're
we got Granit Xhaka. We got Granit Xhaka on the field.
Yeah.
In general.
And they have Kevin De Bruyne.
They do.
That right off the bat is like, what, you can't compare, and you can't try to do the same shit. And it's weird to me that Arteta, who was a understudy with Pep, and Pep has always been the 4-3-3. Like that's his thing. And then
I wonder if we're gonna. The shitty thing is, I think we're stuck with Arteta right now. Where even if we don't make the top 4, you know that they're keeping it.
Yeah,
like the Kroenke KSE at this point it's very clear what their goals are. They won the Super Bowl on Sunday. That's their baby. They don't give a shit about Arsenal. We know that that's not where their head's at. We know that they don't care. And Kroenke hasn't been to the Emirates since 2018. I mean, how do you not, as the owner, come to the Emirates for 4 years?
Yeah, they don't care. And people are trying to say, is this a good thing? Are they going to get a taste for winning and want to win everything? It's like, no. All it's going to do is reinforce the fact that whatever they're doing the right thing to them. And they've always felt this way. Yeah. They have always felt this way. People complain about transfers. They complain about form, about this and that, Wenger, players, this, and their opinion is like, what are you guys talking about? We're doing great. We did everything right.
Well, the right thing to have done. I mean, like here, we knew we needed a striker in January. We needed a holding center back to replace Granit Xhaka at some point, because they got to offload him. I think they're all in agreement. It seems that he might be on the way out. I think everybody's kind of getting frustrated with him. But like, how do you let Aubameyang go and not replace him in the window? I mean, they were trying to go for Vlahovic, and he just he took the piss and went to Juventus and actually like I think they were like fucking with Arsenal. The agent was like fucking with Arsenal. There's like this whole like report of they were like not ever, they had no intention of ever signing for Arsenal.
Why would he?
Why would he? Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Of like the below like Holland and Mbappe, he was the
he's a top prospect.
striker.
Yeah.
He's one of those things where he's at a lower club ready to make the big jump.
Yeah.
Why would he ever choose Arsenal? A team who's not even in the Champions League. Like
totally. He's gonna stay in Champions League.
That was like how often do we do this shit? We go after people who you just can see it on paper. You and I
it's never gonna work. Yeah, they're not if you're gonna
if you're asking to be embarrassed. It's like going up to the hottest chick in school, going up to Kim Kardashian and be like, "Will you be my girlfriend?" And she's like, "No." You know, it's like, well, you could have
it's like
seen that.
It's like we're not going to get Mbappe. We're not going to get Holland. We're not. There's no chance of us even being in that conversation because why the fuck would you go there?
Right. And
there's this and it like years ago.
You have Aubameyang leaving, and
I mean, they're looking to save money. I mean, they're saving like 30 million on wage. That was their reasoning. They're like, we're going to cut him loose. We're going to cut him loose for free. We let Aubameyang go for free. And it was 29 million that they're saving. But like that keep him in the sun, keep him to the summer, sell him. Like why you can't you're telling me you can't agree a fee at all?
True or not, that if they would have gotten a fee for Aubameyang, they also would not have to have had paid that 29 million.
Totally. Why can't you get 10 million? Why can't you get 10
business or something like they get money in their pocket? It's like, no, you sell a player, you don't have to pay the rest of their you don't have to pay them out when you sell a player for a fee.
They think that we're not paying attention they think that we're just not paying attention, that we don't know any better. But like you could have sold him for 10 million. It's better than nothing. You just let him go for free. You got no money for him.
But KSC sees it as, okay, well, we have $29 million less to pay. So that will look good to Josh. You know, they can go to Josh and be like, look, here's what our projected expenses were. Here's where they're at now, 29 million less.
Yep.
So you have 29 million to go and spend on the Rams or whatever the fuck you want to do. Or it'll look better this quarter, or you can impress somebody, or you can show the bank that you have this much more money on the balance sheet.
And they're renovating the Emirates. That's like what they're going to spend money on right now. I mean, the Emirates is not that old. Like I've been there. I was there not that long ago. I was there like a few years ago. Sure, it probably needs some refurbishment. They're talking about a new roof. That's fine. The stadium was built in 2006. That's like, I mean, come on. What kind of renovation needs to happen on the stadium?
It's like, you know, we're thinking like, what's the best move for the team? What's going to make us better? What's going to make us more competitive with the Liverpools and the Man Cities? And then you realize like they're not looking.
They're not thinking that. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're looking like, hey, let's keep this thing going. Like we can keep making money.
Oh, but we got Saka, we got Emile Smith Rowe. Like
we're not gonna do Saka could leave in the summer. I saw some reports of him being like, I want to play in Champions League. And honestly, you can't fucking blame him. You can't blame him.
They're being wasted so bad. And
they are
like ESR and Saka. What do they do? Because to me, all they are is pure raw talent at the moment. I don't know what position they play.
No. You know, I don't think they even know what position they play. They both could be in different areas on the field.
Yeah, and they both just get the ball and sometimes make something happen and score a goal, which you could basically put them in the center. You could put them in the top. You could put them at striker, and they would do the same thing. But
I mean, ESR is not even starting right now, and he's our top goal scorer. Like he hasn't started in a while. I think it was like eight games he hasn't started. He has 10 goals this season. How are you not playing him? I don't understand.
Like people are saying like, we played Wolves. We won 1-0 and people were happy. And I don't want to be like always negative or something or unhappy when we win. but I'm watching that game and I'm like,
It was crap. It was
it
crap.
was like we scored that scrappy goal
Yep.
by our center back, scored a scrappy goal, and then we were hanging on for dear life, like it was the final of the FA Cup against Man City, and we knew
Well,
they
been celebrated like that.
but we just scored a goal, and now we got to hang on. It's like, dude, we still have 16, 17 more games left.
And Martinelli had a moment of madness. I mean, refereeing decision, that's just, as a referee, you just never see that type of thing. And even as players, have you ever seen a player get booked twice in a series of play, like in that buildup? Granted, he made it
like a yellow card is a warning.
Is a warning.
He should have someone and then give them only a second warning without.
That would never happen. That would
That
never
was
happen to United.
Absurd, dude.
That would never happen to Man United ever.
No,
Michael Oliver can be a great referee or a terrible referee. That decision was super weird. He played the advantage on the throw-in. Martinelli should have never done that. But then Martinelli also made a bad decision down the end of the field. I don't know what Arteta's telling them disciplinary-wise. Like, because if you're the coach, it'd be like, when Granit Xhaka does some dumb shit, you would be like, stop fucking doing that. What are you doing? You're costing us games.
And yet Xhaka goes right back in. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
When Pepe touched the dude with his head and got a red card.
Yep.
Arteta basically ripped him a new one in the press.
He doesn't like Pepe for sure.
He doesn't like Pepe.
No.
Pepe's attitude is he always has that look on his face. He's like this.
He looks kind of stoned.
Yeah, stoned, but he's not, because he's not really feeling it, because he's like, I got to play on the right. I can already tell you what's going to happen. Someone's going to pass the ball right at my feet, right here, with my back, and I'm closed off to the goal. As soon as I get it, two dudes from Burnley or Brentford or Bournemouth or Aston Villa, who are about 200 pounds, 6'2", are going to be ready to kick my skinny ass leg off the second I get the ball. And there's nothing in the formation that's going to change where I can maybe get it in space, or you can pass it into space that I can use my speed to run around. And then if someone dives in, I can juke them and score. It's like,
yeah.
I mean, anyone can fucking see this, dude. Like,
I know it's ridiculous. It's hard because you like want to support them and you want them to do well, and at the same time you're like some of the decision making is just so asinine. You're like, I don't understand. I mean, the Granit Xhaka one we've talked, endless about. It'll still happen. We're still going to talk about it because
he's the he
continues
everything that's wrong. You take him out and things just have a better flow. Like, why can't we play the 4-3-3? Because for some reason we have to play Xhaka, and Xhaka cannot be the lone. Like, if he was that good, why can't he be the lone midfielder in a 4-3-3? Like, if he was that much of a leader, if he was that much of this, why can't he be like Fabinho, or Casemiro or Rodri, or, there's players who are his position. They do it in a 4-3-3. They do it by themselves. They play that holding midfielding role. The reason, I don't know why Emile Smith-Rowe and Pepe are sitting on the fucking bench and Xhaka is on the field. That is not you look at the players you have, you find out a formation using your best players, and then when you want to tweak things, you make moves in the transfer market. Yeah. I want to play a different style, but here's what I got. So I'm going to play this style. And then in the transfer market, I'm going to get rid of players and get in new players to fit the style that I ultimately want to play. Well, Arteta's had how many windows now? Yeah, he refreshed the squad to a certain degree. He refreshed the defense. But
we've certainly gotten better. Like, our defense is better. But they need to offload those other. It's weird. It's just weird that they're not making the transitional moves. Like Granit Xhaka, that would have been, if it were me, he would have been out the door first. because you don't have to be Arsenal fan very long to understand that he's a problem in the team. Whether he's a leader off the field or not, on the field.
Even fucking mean.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Really, what does that mean? Because having played on teams before, if you have a player who sucks, that player cannot be a leader, even if they're the most vocal, even if they're the most positive, even if they're the hardest working. They're just an annoying person on the field because they're not good.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Leadership is dictated first and foremost by quality, and then it's your attitude.
Agreed. It's weird. It's kind of weird to me that he even became where he's at. Like, who saw him along the way and was like, this dude's good?
Apparently Wenger, because Wenger bought him and Mustafi in the same season for a combined total of 70 million.
Well, look at that. Look at Mustafi was terrible.
And we couldn't get rid of Mustafi fast enough. And then we had to cancel his contract. And now he plays on Bundesliga
squad. How many? We went over this last summer about the contract stuff. Last summer, and we're still doing it. We let everybody go for free. We have no business model there. A sustainable model? There's no model. You're just letting people leave for free.
Well, think about it.
A sustainable model is selling people for higher than you bought them.
A sustainable model is selling Ainsley Maitland-Niles to Wolves at the beginning of 2020 for $30 million.
Yeah, because they offered. Yeah.
Instead, we don't sell him. We don't play him either. And then...
But we pay him. But then in January of this year, when we have players in the midfield going to AFCON, we have COVID, we have all this problem, you need squad depth. We give him to Jose Mourinho as a gift on January 1st, it felt like. It was like as soon as the window opened, we were like, okay, Angel, you can go. Yeah. And not Is he alone? Is he alone? Is he alone or he's gone?
It's a loan. So
we could have used him. He's better than Xhaka. He's better than Xhaka in that role.
There's players under Arteta that I just don't understand his take on it, because Ainsley will come in and play well. He's played well this season in midfield. And then he never played again. It's like
Arteta really is like I think if you cross Arteta and you get on his bad side, you're just done. He wants nothing to do with you. You're out.
But he doesn't realize you're real out street, because Aubameyang, my theory is what happened was Aubameyang was done, where he was like, no, I don't care. I don't want to mend the relationship because I want to get out of here, because I have no more faith that you're going to help me out on the field at all. You're going to continually put me in positions where I get shit on. And then when I don't produce, you're going to shit on me more, and then when I try to do anything at all, you're going to chastise me. So go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? And
I mean, they're both talking shit about one another, and it's I think the Aubameyang thing is a shame. I mean, because he was the biggest striker we've had since Van Persie, maybe.
Yeah, totally. I mean, just without a doubt.
And then before that was Henry and Adebayor.
Yeah,
I'd say he's the biggest name we've had in a really long time.
Yeah, and it was how many times were we we're so lucky we have him?
Yeah, because he was so sick. He scored so many good.
When he was at Dortmund, they were saying Real Madrid is where he's going to go, and
he went to Arsenal. He actually loved Arsenal too. I feel bad for him. He has an Arsenal tattoo on his forearm. He'll go down as a people will love him in history of Arsenal. Years down the road, I think you'll be oh wait, we had a Aubameyang for a while, and because at some point Arteta won't be in the fold, and then it's even more frustrating. I think this whole Daniel X situation is probably gone. They've lost so much money at Spotify because of their whole Joe Rogan thing and all that. I just don't think they're ever going to be in a position to take ownership of the club. And I don't think Stan Kroenke has any interest in letting it go. You'd have to come in with something crazy. And no one's going to do that. No one's going to pay $3 billion for Arsenal. Why would you?
Because they can pay 1 billion for a different team and like Newcastle and just fund the shit out of it.
And Newcastle's going to be good.
Totally. Well, I mean, no, the way I think honestly is Arsenal is going to be in a steep decline. Like, and they're running out of Saka's and Emile Smith-Rowe's. We had an actual squad that we could do things with. And we're almost systematically taking out the best parts and getting rid of them, So
what happens if we don't qualify for Champions League this year? I think we have a real hard time keeping Saka in the summer, actually. Like, there was an article, it was on Sky recently, where he was like, I want to play Champions League football. Like, I that's my dream. That's where I want to do it.
He wants to develop as a player. Right now,
you want to be the best. Liverpool wants him. If Liverpool comes knocking for Saka, I mean, I know he grew up there and I know he played there. He has some sentiment to Arsenal. But dude, you would go to Liverpool currently.
I mean, in every case, I see the players have been wanting to do the right thing for Arsenal. Back to Patrick Vieira, back to Ashley Cole, back to Van Persie, Adebayor, Alexis Sanchez, and now Aubameyang. None of them had the idea first to leave Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
They're either sold without them even knowing, or they were denied the most basic of requirements to stay, to where their hand was forced and they got an offer they couldn't refuse, and they went on to win championships. Every single one of them did.
All of them. They all left to go do better things. It's kind of crazy because like every one that you're mentioning is all post 2006, all after the Emirates, all after Stan Kroenke started to buy into the club. We've been on a steady decline ever since, and it's only gotten worse.
A short-term gain by selling our players that still have any worth, but
they're
giving away players.
These people call themselves businessmen and sports like people. They don't know fuck all about this. They don't know what they're doing in England and with this big world game. This isn't American football. This isn't basketball and NBA. This is a global sport that billions of people watch all the time. And it's not just a pool of players from a region. It's all over the world. You got to have scouts everywhere. This is a global fucking thing. And we were one of the biggest teams, fan base wise, in the world. We're like in the top 5, if not that 10 easily.
On the back of
we have the largest fan base in Asia, like out of any of them, even bigger than United.
Damn. But that can't exist forever because people don't like supporting teams that aren't good.
No,
the casual supporter, the person who's new to the game, the young kids who have no respect for teams that suck. When you're a kid, you see Michael Jordan, you like Michael Jordan. You're not gonna like the fucking
the Denver Nuggets. You're not gonna like the Denver Nuggets. Like anyone's on that.
Yeah.
And it's not what, you're right. I mean, it's people like a winning mentality. People like winners in general. That's just how it is. Like we are not winners anymore at Arsenal. If we were to get relegated, if we were to get relegated and stay in the championship, I'd probably start watching another team at some point. Because the championship's hard to watch. I would be like, oh, at some point, like I might just like start pulling for another team, because even though I've supported Arsenal since I was like 10, like, I mean, I bought my first Arsenal jersey in '96 at Nike Town in Vegas. And like, I've always liked them. It's one of those things. If they keep going on the trajectory, it's hard to support them sometimes.
How do you support them when they sell your Michael Jordan,
Yeah, right.
Like,
for not sell, give away.
It's slapping. There's too many slaps in the face, and like, I
I mean,
don't
the Van
expect
Persie,
anything
the Van
different.
Persie one, the Van Persie one was like kind of where all this like really started to go wrong. Like, I mean, Adebayor was one thing. He kind of like he was having riff with Wenger a little bit. There was like always talk of it maybe going somewhere else. Man City was real after him. The Van Persie one, man, like he didn't want to leave Arsenal.
All he said was, we need to get Chiellini as our center back. And imagine that. Instead, we got fucking Senderos and then Mertesacker and
Squillaci.
imagine if we would have gotten Chiellini. He still plays for Juventus.
Yeah, and he's
He could have
good.
still
He's
played
really,
for Arsenal, dude. And at that point,
yeah.
we could have lured players from Juventus and
I
Real
mean,
Madrid.
they won the
And
Euros, right?
yeah, yeah.
I mean, he won the
Played every game
Euros. Like,
in
yeah, he's
2020.
still.
And
Yeah,
that was in 2010 that he was asking for that.
I mean, Wenger. It's interesting to see like how Wenger's portrayed and how many people still I love Arsene Wenger to a certain extent, but the second part of his career at Arsenal was detrimental to where we're at now. Every one of those players that was in that last part of the team, the few that remain there are garbage.
Well, I mean, I look back at some highlight videos sometimes and see like our 2017 squad, and I'm like, oh, I couldn't watch it. Like, I didn't realize, you realize it. I also like basically kind of until AFTV, I saw them and I saw people like ripping into the squad.
Yeah.
That's what got me watching and paying more attention, because before that I was like, I don't really like this team, dude. Like,
no, there's
players. Fucking hell, dude.
He was Wenger did exactly what they wanted. He was just a yes man. He did exactly what the Cronkies wanted. They were like, hey, we'll give you 8 million. You save us as much money as possible over this tenureship. You can stay as long as you want. And in that time, he bought crap players. Like crap.
Well, it was always like the best players were just, they were in a separate pool. And he was like, no, I'm going to go look at these players only. And you're like, well, those players, what is it about them? Like, what is it about Mohamed El Neni that makes you want to recruit him from young boys in Switzerland? Like,
what?
Why are you watching like the third team in Switzerland to come and play in the Premier League when other players are getting the best players from all over the world who have already proven themselves in the hardest leagues, and we're getting like up and coming talent from Switzerland? It's just like, it just seemed like he was like, okay, here's who I'm looking at. I'm only going to look at like mid-table French teams, Switzerland, if there's obscure, obscure as possible, basically.
I mean, and then they made weird decisions. Like, why are you going to spend 72 million on Pepe and then have it go this direction? Well,
Emery,
Alexis Sanchez,
Emery was like, I don't want Pepe. I want Wilfred Zaha. They said, well, that's 80 million. That's too much. So we're going to spend 72 on a player who the coach already said, I don't want. You know what I mean? Like, that was a bad start and it never got better. And then Arteta clearly despises Pepe. And I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why he prefers to play anyone else. Like against the last time against Wolves, and this happens all the time with Arsenal. You're like, okay, I'm looking for Pepe. What if Pepe's up top today? This is going to be dope. What do I see? But Xhaka and Cedric starting, ESR and Pepe on the bench. I'm just like, fuck it. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch
Cedric. I mean, Cedric is not good at all. Like, there was a brief moment. Luckily, Tomiyasu's back in full training. He could maybe play for Saturday. That's all. Thank God, because we are a far different defense with Tomiyasu there. The saving grace of this whole thing is that our back five, the starting back five, is good.
True.
And Tavares. And Tavares is interchangeable. Why the fuck don't you put Tavares in over Cedric? He's better. He can play on the right.
Again, it's like
he doesn't. I don't know.
Is
he racist? Is he racist? Kind of,
man. Honestly, because he had one bad game, Tavares, and he's done now. He's like gotten.
I know, and he done. It looks weird sometimes. Like I feel like Lacazette really doesn't like Arteta at all. If you watch, I know. But I love watching. I love watching the sideline. I love watching when they're going onto the field and they're subbing on, the interactions that happen when they come off. I think it's very telling about the relationships. You know, fucking Klopp gives players a hug. Like, dude, they fucking love him. And Arteta does not have that relationship with them. Like,
he has his 15 fucking assistant coaches, and they're all slapping each other's ass and talking constantly and all of it's just like
a few of them look like they're 12. Like,
even the guy with the fucking stopwatch who acts like he's like the coach too, you know?
Yeah.
He stepped in when Arteta had COVID and stuff, and it's like,
right, he did a good job, I think, right?
This guy,
right?
Though.
Yeah.
Like
it's like I said, I think the fucking all or nothing is going to be very telling to see about how their relationships are managed, because even if they hide some things, they won't be able to hide some of it, like how they're interacting, because like, you know, they're going to show like Pepe at some juncture how he is with Arteta. This whole Aubameyang thing just shows how grossly mismanaged Arteta is with his people skills. How bad of a people manager are you? Football isn't just these people, these guys that play the game. A lot of the time leave their childhood homes at some point, and they go to a foreign land to learn how to play, and they need molded in some way. Sometimes they're looking for some type of also like father figure in the club, someone to kind of like steer them in the right direction. Yeah. And if you're not doing that as the manager, who's going to do that? That's his role.
And look at the players that he's gotten rid, like because of some disciplinary issue, gotten rid of.
Yeah, it's a lot of them.
Ozil's the only one who I think he truly didn't want to play. He was like, no, I'm not going to play. I don't want to play, but you have to pay me. That's
what, and you see Ozil at Fenerbahce have the same problem now too. That one is the only. You're right. That's one of the only ones where
Ozil
he fucked off. Yeah, no, he fucked off.
Aubameyang was like had a bad attitude and stuff, and it's like it's not. They can't tell the difference between a bad attitude and being lazy and being pissed off because no one is passing you the ball.
Yeah,
that you're the only player with any quality on the field.
And why would you just don't play me out on that side. Like, if that's, for you want to play center midfield. Like, if I'm like, hey Cameron, you got to go play left back permanently.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'll do it.
You'll do it, but you're you're going to be like, that's not my strong suit.
Where I get the ball, where a player likes to get the ball. Aubameyang likes to get the ball, pass through that he runs on. So does Pepe, and
they're fast.
He has to get the ball with his back to the goal on the sideline, 40 yards from goal. He's already like, fuck, man, I got to do a lot of work. And if you look at the way our team plays, dude, there was a time when Emile Smith-Rowe got the ball at midfield and he just started running straight and then just eventually just like conked out because he ran into a dead end and he had no capacity.
That was against Wolves the other day.
Like
he had a great run.
Now go do it. And he's like, I'm at midfield and there's 4 defenders.
I mean, it's frustrating. I mean, I know Emile Smith-Rowe is young and they're trying to protect him probably somewhat, but you got pundits on Sky Sports right now, multiple pundits, not even Arsenal supporters. Jamie Carragher being like, he is the best ball player in the league. He is the best player with the ball at his feet. He probably is. Like, control-wise, his touch is so good. But, like, why aren't we fucking playing him? You put him on 10 minutes at the end. He has 10 goals this season.
Or you put on Nketiah 10 minutes on at the end. What is he supposed to fucking do?
In 10, what is the 10-minute thing? Like that 80 to 90 minutes,
dude, there's times he doesn't even use all 3 subs, and we ended up losing or tying. And you're like,
dude, our squad is so thin right now. So thin. You're right. We got rid of 6 players in the window. We're needing more players. Like, we're not that deep. We have Rob Holding still in the team.
We got rid of 6 players, and we still have Cedric.
Bought none. We bought none. And we bought none.
And we still
we didn't bring one
Rob
player
Holding and El Neni.
We did sign a goalkeeper in the summer.
Yeah, and we did sign a center back, a left-footed center back from the Colorado Rapids, who we loaned back, who is gonna be on loan next season too, and then maybe join the team in 2024. Who's an unproven American MLS left-footed center back. Would we have? What's this deal with getting only left-footed defenders? Because you can't have really Saliba and Gabriel, because you don't want to be on the right side of a center back if you're left-footed. So why did we get Gabriel, really, even though he's done well? And then we have Tierney already, and then we have Tavares, but then we have all these players who can only really be on the left. Like, why? And then, so what do? We get another one from the Colorado Rapids, but then we're going to loan him out for a couple seasons. Like, what is the fucking point of that? What is that? What is that?
And the only reason we got it from the Rapids is because that's a Kroenke team.
Yeah, like Kroenke, so he was doing a favor for this guy or something. You know what I mean?
It's like another weird money laundering some situation.
Seriously, because clearly, if
what is that? Yeah,
playing him. Why did we make that move? Are you telling me there's no one in the academy right now who has a better shot of going to the first team than some random center back who there's no path to the first team for this guy?
Arsenal is so frustrating because we're 6th in the table with 3 games in hand right now. And we won the last game, and that was the first win we've had in a little bit. We played Brentford on Saturday. We have to fucking win. We lost to them the first game of the season. I don't know that we're going to win it. Who knows what Arsenal team is going to show up on Saturday? But it's you can't even be excited about it sometimes because they do this. It's such a tumultuous fan support type of situation where it's been relentless for 15 years now.
They expect the definition of a supporter is no matter what happens, you say that was a good thing because you support the club. Yeah, but that's never been my definition of support for a friend, for a business.
No.
A person, for myself.
And their tickets are expensive, man. When we were going to be there for New Year's and we bought tickets and I was looking at all the games and all the country and all the teams. I mean, we certainly have the highest tickets out of anyone. We paid $300 for the club level, but even below that, you weren't getting it was $300. It was $290 a piece, but I bought better tickets. But even the basic ticket was $100.
That's a shit ton.
I mean, especially there, you could go to Crystal Palace, Chelsea. I became a member at Chelsea because I was I want to go to you have to become a member to go to all of them. And then I could have gone to Chelsea Brighton. There were tickets for £40, decent ones at Chelsea. Where's all that money going?
They're using it as an ATM is what it is.
They are for the Rams.
Just pumping the fucking training ranges and the 93 range and the merch.
The merch, yeah.
A lot of it is they're just cool, but I'm not even interested in it anymore. You know what I mean?
It was funny. We've been sending so many things. We bought so many things, but they just keep introducing more and more things every other week, and you're
I don't need
just keep buying.
Do I only wear Arsenal clothes? No. Period.
It's really man, they're just kind of raping. They're just kind of raping the fan base for money to be used elsewhere. Stan Kroenke was at the Super Bowl. He goes to a lot of the Rams games. He lives in LA now. They've been to the Super Bowl 2 times in 3 years now, the Rams.
Yeah.
That's where their focus is at. He hasn't been to Arsenal since 2018.
Yeah.
Can't tell me that he couldn't have flown there because they must have a jet.
The thing is, it's like, even if you didn't care and didn't want to spend any money, you could run for the past decade, you could have run a sustainable, self-sustaining model if you bought and sold players at the right time.
Yeah. They're full of shit. They're full of shit. That was the model.
So much money. If all they care about is money, then they've lost hundreds of millions of dollars just on terrible timing and decision making.
Well, dude, the Vinay guy that's like the president knows nothing about soccer, like nothing. I mean, these people, like, that's what I'm saying. They're talking like they're business people, that they know what they're doing and they're doing run a sustainable model. Wenger used to always say that. Wenger used to be like, we don't have the means to spend that kind of money. We have to buy within our means. We try to sell and buy and move players around within the system. We only have so much money. That's not even true. They're not even posing to do that anymore. They're just cutting loss. I don't even understand how that's financially responsible in any way. How would you? But
how has it been financially sustainable even this long? I wonder.
No,
you know?
and even what in the last 2 years, how many player contracts have we canceled? I mean, Kolasinac, Aubameyang, Willian, Ozil,
Socrates.
yeah, that's already too many.
And between Aubameyang and Ozil, you have, if you do it right, you have
100 million,
80 to 100 million.
Yeah,
like
come
instead
on.
of paying, like both of them, when they signed their new contracts for 350, they should have been sold for 40 million.
Yeah. I don't know why we're doing this 350 a week.
And the thing is,
like,
too,
what was that? Like, even Man City doesn't do that. They're owned by one of the richest people in the world, and they don't do that.
And they're making money. They bought the best striker from River Plate for like 21 million pounds, dude.
I mean, and they sold Fernand Torres. I was like,
a $20 million windfall, and then they bought the new up and coming best striker in South America. Like,
how do you not just get a person that knows business? You don't even need it. The guy doesn't even need to know football. That you got to get. Just get somebody that understands business.
Go put me into a WNBA team. I don't know anything about basketball or the women's game, but tell me the value of players and tell me what their situation is, how much time is left on their contract. Let me talk to the coach and say, what are her strengths and
how do you use someone else?
Yeah. How do you want to use her? If you have a different vision that she doesn't fit into and her contract's coming up and she's still a good player, we're going to sell her and then make money off of that. And then we'll see what we can do. And if you want a player who fits into your system, how much do they cost and how much are we willing to spend? But if you want it, then the money that we made off of this player, we're going to use toward that. So it ends up being like we only paid like a little bit for a good player.
I know. It's crazy.
I don't even know anything about fucking basketball. Just tell me those things.
And it's funny, we've been following this long enough that we understand how this works as well. Like, I mean, we are more qualified than Josh Kroenke at this point, and Vinay, whatever his last name is. They don't know what they're doing at all. The fact that they're canceling contracts of players and not making any money, and they think saving the money and not using it later is a sustainable model. Like, at some point, this is just going to fall apart.
And it's getting worse because at the end of the season, Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah leave, which means we lost 3 strikers who all were meant to be
in 6 months,
not starters or then off the bench. To get 3 strikers is going to cost us, of any quality at all, really, is going to cost us over 100 million. And we need more than strikers. We really
do. We need another right back. to cover for Tomiyasu. We need another center back. We need probably, or not center back. We need another center holding midfielder. We need to offload Xhaka. We probably need 2 center defensive midfielders to cover.
Yes, and
a starter, another one.
Winger. We need a winger.
We need a winger. Yeah,
because
you know they're going to get rid of Pepe. What are they going to do with Pepe's contract?
Just
he doesn't fucking play. How much money is he worth now? We paid 72 million for him. They're not going to get 30 for him at this point. How do you justify how do you justify getting a transfer when you don't play him at all? Like he has 0 playing time lately.
I really don't understand, because like Arteta, like when they go to Arteta and they say, okay, we got an offer for Ainsley Maitland-Niles for 30 million. What do you think, Arteta? Why does Arteta say, no, let's keep him, when he knows he's not going to play him? Because there's players where he flat out he's putting in Cedric, he's putting in Nketiah, he's putting in El Neni, he's putting in fucking dog shit players who have sucked since they came, over and over and over and over again, over the likes of Lacazette, Pepe, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, the Reece Nelson and the Joe Willocks are already gone. Those were players that could have been massive, and they're completely gone. Like, who we could really have used right now? Fucking Joe Willock.
Yeah, we could have. I don't know why. That was a weird one too.
I mean, he goes and does something good, and that's what we do. Like, someone will do good, and then we're like, okay, we can sell him. So sell him. Sell Emi Martinez, ruin Leno's career, ruin Pepe's career. He's ruined Lacazette's career. He fucked up Aubameyang, got rid of Guendouzi. He's fucked with Saliba to the point where the dude might not ever recover. I don't see Saliba ever coming back to play at Arsenal. Where's he gonna go?
Yeah, why would he play?
Have a left-footed center back who's good.
Yeah, why would why would we even? It sucks for him because he's never made his debut. He got signed for 27 million. He's been on loan for 2 seasons since then,
and he's been playing first team football the whole time, just for a different team. So
it's so dumb.
The issue is clearly just, I refuse to play that guy. I refuse to play Lacazette.
It's really just like a gross mismanagement of the club. And it's not just Arsenal though. I know that we bitch about Arsenal. Man United is in a very similar procurement as well, from a similar type of trajectory. Very similar situation. 2 big managers that fucked off, left. They both left the teams in dire straits. The difference was Alex Ferguson won the fucking league with a terrible team on his last year out.
Yeah.
And then the team was garbage after.
I would have taken at least one more title from Arsenal.
Yeah, but I mean, we haven't won anything of significance since we haven't won the league since 2005. I mean, that's a long time. 17 years. We're going on 20 years not winning the league, and we have the 2nd largest stadium. Well, 3rd now because Tottenham did 1,000 more seats, but that's just they don't, Yeah. And Arsenal get joy out of stuff like, I don't know if you saw this. I mean, it is kind of funny, but they're just doing stuff like this now. They know that they're not winning anything, so they got to make headlines in other ways. On their shopping cart a week ago, they took it down, but for a brief period of time, for one day, if you were in the store, it was your basket is empty as Tottenham's trophy cabinet, and
so the class Arsenal is completely gone.
Yeah, no, that's literally what they had on their website. Look it up. They got a lot of stick for it as well. It was funny, but that's also not Arsenal. You're only doing this to make a headline.
The Wenger Invincibles were known as the class team.
We don't care about. Why do we care about Tottenham? Tottenham never wins anything. Why are we poking fun at Tottenham?
Dude, to be honest, I'll be completely honest with you. I've supported them since 2003, and I didn't even know that Tottenham were our rivals until 2013 or 14.
Yeah,
we hated Tottenham and blah blah blah. I honestly didn't know that because they weren't really a rival. And to the fact that they are a rival is like, well, we've gone down. That's why we're now talking about Tottenham. Like,
I know it's ridiculous. I was really I thought it was funny, but I was also like turned off. I was like, that's not cool, man. Like, why are you
they
making
finished
this
ahead
dig?
of us.
Just
They finished ahead of us the past how many seasons?
multiple
They
times.
went to the finals of the Champions League. They're not good. I don't like them, but do you really want to be the person that's talking shit to someone who's done better than you recently? You know, like, no, I don't.
No.
I don't talk. You're not supposed
And
to talk.
they have Conte as a manager.
Yeah. And
Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, and they got like quality players there. Like,
and they seem willing to make big changes
moves.
And go for
Yep.
things. So eventually that's,
they're gonna catch us at some point.
Yeah, like we're doing the opposite and getting rid of all of our options. It's just there's something so disrespectful about the way we go about it, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
so I got to wrap this up in a minute, but what's our prediction for Saturday? They got Christian Eriksen now. I'm not sure what that looks like for them. I think that's cool that he's able to get back into a team.
Yeah.
But wild. I don't even know what to make of it. They're in 14th place. They haven't won a game in 6. They've lost the last 5. They lost 5, drew the last game.
My prediction is that someone gets injured and then someone whom we hate or whom we thought wasn't good enough 5 years ago becomes a starter, like Rob Holding. That's my prediction. A starter gets injured, Rob Holding comes on, and he becomes a starter, which is not good news if you know anything about soccer, I think. That's my prediction. Score-wise, I don't know.
Yeah, it's so hard to predict now, but I could see us drawing that game, actually.
I mean, we have to play Wolves again, too.
On Thursday next week.
What, are we going to beat Wolves 3-0? We hung on tooth and nail to beat them 1-0 with them just peppering our goal for the last like half an hour.
What are two home games in a row? Brentford and then Wolves. We haven't had very many games lately because we're not involved in anything. We're not in Europe. We got knocked out of FA Cup. We got knocked out of the Carabao Cup. I was like, why don't we have a game for 3 weeks? Like,
we pissed away the FA Cup
everything
yet again
in our first round of it.
And there are people who are out there who are saying that, everything's fine and we're doing this and that. Like, there's too many things. We can't even get to all the things, all the completely terrible things that have happened because you forget about things because you move on and you move on and you move on. And then you remember like, oh shit, remember Alexis Sanchez? Like I was watching Serie A highlights. Alexis Sanchez ripped an upper 90 from like 30 out, dude.
I know. It's doing that
for us. Giroud scored 2 goals in the San Siro derby. Giroud. He's still good. He sucks for Arsenal.
The Sanchez one hurts a lot because that like didn't need to happen.
He never got to play Boba, dude. That's all he wanted was a player like that.
I know it sucks, man. They it's like they buy these like one marquee player and they think it's like one player there. It's like one at a time. Like what?
And then
That's not how that works.
You have teams like City who bring in 3 of those players off the bench.
Yeah. They're just they're so good. I enjoy watching them play because they just ball.
Yeah.
Liverpool too.
Yeah, you have to take your hat off.
Yeah. Because it's entertaining. And they're it's not just entertaining, it's like they're very, very good. It's fluid. They're all working to the collective thing together.
In the tunnel, they're talking to each other like this. They're like debating with each other and like, talking about shit. You look at the Arsenal team and, some of them are just kind of like, or like in the past generation, I remember like Ramsey would be like, after we like lost a game, he'd be like, just like, yeah, thanks guys, thanks for coming, like chewing
So I
gum.
remember we had Jack Wilshere training. I mean, Jack Wilshere's training with the first team constantly right now. I know he's trying to get fit, but they haven't ruled out like he has no club. He has no club.
That's very awkward because he is like,
yeah.
They just showed him and he's on the bike and he's playing the 5v2 and he's like running around and you're like, that's just bad for team morale when you're like, who's this guy? He doesn't even play. He's not wanted by Bournemouth or West Ham, but he's going to be just around all the time.
It's one thing when Robert Pires or Thierry Henry went there a couple times, trained for a week or something, and we're just like there visiting and training. That's a different type of thing. Jack Wilshere is still trying. Why is he going to Dubai? He went to warm weather training. What is? I don't understand that logic at all.
It's really, really awkward. And the way he talks about like his mental health and stuff, I almost feel like it can't be good for his mental health because it's like, hey, come and like hang around, but you're not part of the team, but just come and like pretend. Like that's almost more depressing than
it is.
Like it's not a good vibe. I don't understand these decisions.
Yeah, I know. All right, well, I got to wrap it up.
Word.
It's always lovely to chat about this, even when it's not lovely.
Gotta vent somehow, but it's
I know.
where it's like I'm running out of energy to even vent.
I mean, I hope that we can do it next week. I mean, because we got Wolves next Thursday.
So we have Brentford.
We have Brentford on Saturday, and then Wolves at like lunchtime next week. So we can do it next Thursday, hopefully, and we can recap the two matches.
You're at could be 6 points, could be 0 points. So
yeah. I think if it is 0 points, we can count ourselves out of Champions League altogether at that point, because those are two. We're already 3 games back. We have 3 games in hand, and the 3 games every time.
Yeah. I mean, watching those games, the Champions League games this week, are we really?
Yeah, we're way off. Yeah, we're way off. Yeah,
so
we're way off.
How get 4th place? Then
I watched the Liverpool Inter game yesterday too, and it was like I couldn't watch the City one the other day because I just had too much going on. But the Liverpool game, you're like, okay. I mean, they're just running rampant. They're just even though they're only 2-0, just controlling the game in general.
Yeah, just so much more quality.
Yeah. So always a pleasure.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for joining us.